you are.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed, beautiful being of God. And I'm so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. It's 4:30 a.m. This is how I get to start my entire day. This is how I get to live. Like,
yeah. I watched one of your IG TV videos, and you came home from work one day and you were dancing and you were like, I just got to dance to this song. I could not take my eyes off of you. Here's what I love. You sat in that song and you were like completely present in that song, and you danced and you captivated me. And I'm like, my husband walks around and sees me. I'm sitting here staring at a woman dancing on Instagram and going, oh my gosh, she's amazing. I love that. I love that. So you raised your hand. You had something you wanted to share with us.
Yes. I just wanted to say I'm so thankful. And then that what I learned was just, what was said before, that it's never too your gifts. It's never too late to, and just like Latoya said, like she said, that we're not against the world. We're enlightening the world. We're doing the work that we're supposed to be doing. It's just, I learned that it's never too late, and that God will find a way for you to do your calling. And if it's through MLM, mentors leading mentors, mom loving moms, we think we're doing one thing, but we're doing something we're doing something totally different than what we think we're doing. And it's just like, it's amazing how like God can use you to light up and find a way to use your powers in this like amazing way. We think that we have to be in a building, called, church for people to heal. We think we need to be in an office with a therapist to heal. We think we need to be, doing this to heal. No, dancing is healing, speaking is healing, loving is healing, being yourself is healing. And I'm just so thankful that I'm on a call at 4:30 a.m. doing what I love to do and being who I love to be with, and being around amazing people who accept that and love that. And I thought I was going to learn how to run a business.
But you are.
Right. God is good. And I'm learning how to run a business. And I'm making money. God is good. God is real good. So
yeah. Yeah, that's how he does it. It's just like the other day when you said, God, I just need $100. And instead of $100, he brings you more wealth than you can wrap your arms around. So you are learning to run a business, because if you learn to run a business the way you're seeing it done on here, the way Sean has shown as an example, it will never run dry. It will never not be profitable. And the way you did the butterfly effect this weekend, the lives that you have changed, and it's continued. And it's just, it's probably circled the globe multiple times already, because you chose to step out and step up and spread your wings and show up, and you did this butterfly effect, and everybody felt it. And let me tell you something, and this will kind of blow your mind, because this is where I was. I was talking to Sean one day, and he always poses questions to me that he knows are going to make my head explode. And I think he sits back and giggles after he does it. He likes to watch that happen to me. But what about this, Malik? After what you just said, could it be possible that you are the miracle somebody's praying for? That you're that miracle? And is it okay for you to step into that role? See, we don't need another Jesus. We already had a Jesus. He's already come and gone. He left us what we needed. So we think of miracles as being this thing, this presence that comes on. What if you are someone's miracle, and when you walk into their life and you spread your butterfly wings and you create for them what they've been praying for, is it okay for you to be the representative and be the miracle? Because Sean asked me that one day. And at first I was like, man, don't be throwing your hocus pocus on me. You're crazy. That's not what it says. And he was like, well, what if? And he expanded my mind on that. So Malik, I'm going to ask you that. I want you to sit with that and and you don't have to answer me now, you can sit with it, but what if you're the manifestation of someone's miracle they've been praying for? And if that's the case, if we are granted that opportunity to be that, then how important is it for us to step into who God has designed us to be? Because we're going to walk into someone's life and be their miracle. But on the same token, it's always going to happen that they're probably going to be one for us as well. You know,
Wow.
it's just
Wow.
Rhonda, I am so sorry. I jumped in when you were in the middle of saying that, and I hear the power in your voice. Can you please repeat that?
so. My thoughts are Malik's. Who do you want to repeat? Mine?
Yes, it was
Okay.
I jumped in the middle of your question, so I just wanted to give a preface to it.
My question is, well, first of all, my question is because of our dear leader who's on here now, Sean Murphy. He expands my thoughts continually, and he jacks with my whole philosophies in my head and gives me something I've never thought of. And then he sits back and giggles and laughs like oh. So I asked Malik, what if it's possible? Y'all got me taking the robe off because I'm already getting hot. Y'all got me getting worked up over here. What if it's possible that you are the manifestation of someone's miracle they've been praying for? See, as Sean started taking me down this thought, and it all our business and our it all works together because we can't separate it anyway. We're all together anyway. And so Sean was messing with my head one day in a good way. And he said, what if you could be the manifestation of someone's miracle they've prayed for? You arriving, you showing up into their life at that very moment. So that's what I was asking Malik. Would it be okay if you were the manifestation of someone's miracle? And if you think about that, and you're sitting across from somebody, or you're sitting across a screen from somebody, and you're talking to them about, maybe it's the business that got you connected. What if in that business and in that connection, you were the answer to their prayer and you became the miracle? Would you be okay with that? So in East Texas, that went against a lot of my theology. A lot of my theology. You see Sean laughing. But the more you think about it, and the more you wrap your mind around it, I have come to the thought, and I've settled upon, I'm probably someone's miracle that they've been praying for, just like Sean is the miracle a lot of us have been praying for. So that's the question I was asking Malik. Did that help?
Thank you so much for sharing. You don't understand how much that resonated with me. Imagine I caught the end wind of it and I was like, she needs to repeat it. Thank you. So thank you, Malik, for sharing your story that trickled on Rhonda to continue her story. It really, really hit home with that.
Yeah. Michelle, where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
Okay, cool.
Florida, by the Miami area.
Okay. So have you been on here before?
I was just on Friday. It was my first time. I had just got sent the link. So Friday was my first call. I didn't know you guys did weekend calls because my little Zoom thing says Monday on weekdays. So it's nice to sit in and listen to you guys. I'm surprised I'm actually listening to, you guys have captivated me so much that I'm listening to you guys. I know Sean wasn't on the call for a while, but.
Yeah, well, welcome. So let me introduce you to Sean. Hey, Sean, we got Michelle in Florida. Say good morning.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Sean. Welcome.
Yay, it's great to be on my own call. I'm glad I showed up. There's the law of Murphy. So following up on that, listen, I love that question that Rhonda asked. Here's the next question that popped up in my mind as I was listening. And that is, how long should a miracle last? Sometimes we could be a rain shower could be a miracle for somebody. Sometimes a sunset's a miracle. knowing that they get a time to sleep and rest? How long are you the miracle for somebody? How long, if you're the miracle for somebody, how long should it last? I think that's when you develop relationships that change everything about your world. You have your best friends that sometimes there's the mess is in the message of relationships. Maybe those times that turn you sideways. Remember, he made the world and he said, this is good. Even the not so good might be good. Even the times when people may choose to not stay in your business, right? We're always worried about people when they leave our business. What's the lesson? And if you've ever had somebody come in and leave, maybe that was the time that you were just the miracle for them. So I think that's powerful. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Rhonda. I just get that.
Well, we were just going down the list, Sean. We'd had Brene was new, and she jumped on and she'd given her thoughts and shared with us, and we were kind of going down the line. And I see after we talked to Malik, let me look. Oh, you know what? There's Lewis. And then I see a couple others. Lewis, where are you this morning? Our Puerto Rican hottie. Where you at?
Here. How are you, Rhonda? How are you, Sean? Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I'd like to share something because what you just told to me was so mind-blowing because, you know, Sean told me start your mentorship call. So I did, following my mentor, obviously. I've never received a compliment from someone telling me you changed my life. And since I started this mentorship call 4 days ago, everyone that has been on it has told me my life is not the same. It's not the same. I'm not living the life I was living 4 days ago. And yesterday, it's funny you say, what if you're someone's miracle? Someone told me, you're my miracle. You came into my life to change it. I was so mind blown. Just the power of the calls with Sean, because he's been a big influence on me. I started a call because of him. And you really have to go out there and do something to know if you're a miracle for someone. Because if you never say what's on your head, how will you know? How will you impact someone's life? We have so much stories inside of us, so much knowledge that we have to share it. We have to go out there and tell someone you're beautiful. Rhonda, you're beautiful. I appreciate you a lot.
I love you. You're beautiful.
And I appreciate everyone on this call. I mean, Sean wasn't even on the call and we were already 150 souls on here. Look how powerful love is. I realized this and it's changed my life and the whole lives of the people I touch, just like Sean does. And that's so great and powerful. Like, honestly, I just wanted to say that because it's really cool. I don't know what to say.
Lewis, you're fantastic. And you know what? To see your heart so young and so awake and so ready to love people and to accept people, man, it makes me envious because I wish I could have been that way at your age. I am now, so we're good. But to see you stepping into this, you know I'm a big fan of yours. So I just think the world of you. And go touch those souls. Keep that mentorship call going. I mean, look at what you're doing. And the other day you mentioned you had it on. It was on for like 4 hours. And y'all just loved on each other. And
all of the hours, I haven't been able to cut them like 1 hour, 2 hours. They just keep on 4 or 5 hours. And I gotta cut them because I gotta sleep. Since I do them at 7:30, it always hits like 1, 2 a.m. The energy is so high, the love's so high. I just gotta tell them, yo, I'll see you tomorrow because I'm gonna die here. I gotta sleep.
So Lewis, you're gonna have to find you a pink robe, Rhonda. because whenever you need to sleep, she can jump on your call and she can do your call for you.
Definitely need that. I need it.
I hear
By
you.
the way, hola a todos. Oh, I invited some of the people from my call and they're here. So that's awesome. ¿Qué es la que hay, Cheo?
Qué chévere.
It's great. Mano, quiero decirle a todos que los amo, en verdad, los que se unieron de mi llamada, los que hablan español aquí. Los amo, los aprecio un montón a todos. I really do. And, you know, el cambio que viene para todos, the change that is coming for all, is great. We don't even know what's out there for us. There's so much. There's so much. Just wanted to say that I appreciate you all. I love you.
Con
And
mucho
thanks
gusto,
for giving me
hermano.
a moment.
Tanto.
Luis, I'm proud of you.
I love you, Louis. So, Sean, the other two hands that I haven't had a chance to get to yet.
Well, there's a whole bunch of hands. There's like
Oh, are there?
up right now. So
Okay. Well, you just take off and you get to some hands because it's hard for me to see it.
Latoya. Good morning, Latoya.
Oh, I went earlier. I did the lower my hand. Oh, one thing, Sean. Do you send your daily gratitude today?
Did I send it?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I just want to make sure.
Absolutely. Thanks for the teacher. Teacher needs to have a checkup.
Yes. All righty. Have a great day.
Excellent. So was Brana?
Renee.
Renee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But she might want to say hi to you because she didn't get to speak to you.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, good morning.
So many great things about you. Good morning. Thank you for hosting this call, and thank you for just being a light to us all. I actually got on one of your presentations like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know you hosted like morning calls like every day. So thank you just for the guidance. Thank you for being a light in this world.
Well, so today, thank you. And here's the reality of today. Today was one of those days where somebody had to step in. And you know what? There wasn't an ounce of fear. There wasn't an ounce of worry, because when a community is able to take care of itself, that's when you know the community can take care of itself. So I'm just honored that you're here. I'm honored that the program, the timing still worked well for everyone. And that's all we're looking to do, any one of us, right? Whether it's 2 weeks ago you saw me and it's 2 weeks again today, one of the things that we all probably have to do is realize that every moment is what we get to do. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the question you asked. Thank you for the compliment you shared. This is what makes the world a better place. See, right now there's 154 people here. But what if we put a 0? Think about your business. What if a 0 showed up in your business? Well, now there's 1,500 people here. We'll put another 0. See, when we start to look at everything that we do as just zeros and ones, life gets a little bit more simpler. I think possibly maybe a little less pressure. Because my mentor taught me, he said, you know, you can be a 1 comma person. You can be a 2 comma person. The funny thing is that in the month of January, I started this December 18th, 2018. Between the month of January and February, we had already had enough, the same amount of people who showed up to listen and sit just like you are, to be an amazing soul who gives their time and energy to the community. In 2 months, we had as many people pass through these calls as we did the whole year of 2019. How is that possible? It's because somebody like you, Rhonda, that keeps showing up. And just, even if it's a day, even if it's a minute, I need you to hear this. You're a miracle in my life today. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Every one of you are a miracle in my life today. And it's important that you understand that. Think about, some of you may be sitting there and going, well, yeah, but Rhonda jumped in and Rhonda did this. Rhonda's a miracle. So are all of you. So are all of you. The person you're going to have a conversation today, whether it be your business, whether it be a prospect, a future business partner, it's important. And see, if all of a sudden you start to show up knowing that you could be a miracle. Imagine if you're sitting across from a prospect, that's the miracle for you. Yeah, in Wallace D. Wattles' book, Science of Getting Rich, he says we must move from the competitive world into the cooperative world. And soon as you do that, there's an old Indian proverb, American Indian proverb that goes off and says, no two branches are ever foolish amongst themselves to fight for the sun. If you've ever looked at a tree of the trees, the way the limbs come off of a branch, the way the leaves come off of a branch. I got you, Vach, don't you worry. They don't fight amongst themselves for the sun. They're never foolish enough to fight amongst themselves for the sun. If there's that much intelligence on the branch of a tree, what are we doing? So thank you, Brianna. Thank you for being here. Oh, and by the way, I love your hair.
Sean, you said something right there that you kind of skipped over. What if the person we're sitting across the table from is our miracle?
And how would we treat them?
Yeah. If you looked at every single person that you're gifted with, what if they're your miracle? Even the people that are confused followers. Some people call those haters. I don't like to say that word. What if they're confused followers? Couldn't they still be a miracle to you? And what if we looked at every single person as our miracle for us? Instead of us being their miracle, what if they're ours? The way we would see them and love them and take care of them and honor them and hang on every word they give us, waiting for that one moment where we're like, oh, see, there it is. That was huge. You kind of jumped over that one. I couldn't jump over that one that easy.
I'm glad you brought that up, because December 11th, 2017, no, 2018, December 10th, 11th, you showed up in my life as a miracle.
I love you.
When we think we're giving, don't forget, in order to give, there's space that shows up for you to receive. And who knew on that day that we met in a restaurant here in Dallas, Texas, that you would be the person to step in here this morning. And if I told you at that moment when we met, I go, hey, listen, I'm really going to need to be good friends with you. just because you've got to be the one to step in on a call that I'm going to be doing that is just going to keep me from getting there on time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Vach, you got a question?
Hey guys.
Hey.
To start off, I think I need a shirt that says The Mental Prophet and the Pink Rope Lady. Have you met them? Like, I need one.
We need those, don't we? We need them.
Where's RC? RC will probably have that before the day's out.
I wanted to share the one thing you learned, one thing you liked over the weekend. One thing that I learned was just, I feel like I learn this kind of every day, but there's so many different people on this call with so many different backgrounds, but a lot of us have experienced something that's been shared, you know, even if we're not talking and we're relating to whoever's talking. It's just kind of beautiful to see that so many people can relate to so many different things, and you say the one thing that someone else is afraid to say, you know, on the call or just anything. And then the one thing that I liked was actually from this morning. One of Sean's goals is to pretty much pour into the next 600 generations. And I feel deeply that we will all be a part of that because we know him. And just from the first 30 minutes of this call, like, we all shared what we learned, and we were all so joyful just to be with one another. Even though Sean wasn't here, we were just like, oh, hey, like, if you're from the East Coast, say hey, like, you know, just so, you know, excited just to be talking to one another. And a lot of us were like, okay, so Sean's not here, let's keep it going. But just, I don't know if anyone else paid attention to it, but so many people left. So many people left this call. But the people who stayed and had patience were blessed with each other's knowledge and pieces of each other's lives, and then ended up, you know, Sean ended up being on the call. None of us knew if Sean was gonna wake up or what. We were just like, oh, hey, like, Rhonda, what's up? Like, we were just, you know, still like, well, we're still gonna have the morning call whether Sean's here or not, because, you know, Sean is within all of us, you know. And then the last thing was small that I wanted to share. I don't think it's small, but
Hey, I don't care about anybody else. That ain't small. Please continue. Listen, I'm done talking about me. Why don't y'all talk about me?
What I wanted to share was when Rhonda said to Malik, like, what if you were someone else's miracle? I came across this quote yesterday that says that we can only meet each other on as deep of a level as we have met ourselves. So I kind of add to that, what if the deeper that we go, the more we become manifestations of someone else's miracle? The more we dig into ourselves, the more gold we can produce for ourselves and for others. And that miracle is infinite within us, as long as we just continue along the path to, you know, meet ourselves and go deeper within ourselves, that there is no cap on how much we can learn about ourselves and give to others.
I like that. Can you, someone asked, can you repeat that quote again?
The quote says, we can only meet others on as deep of a level as we have met ourselves.
Ooh, that's a whole nother call right there.
Yeah, it is.
Sadhguru talks about Adi Yogi, who's supposedly the first yogi 15,000 years ago in Indian history. And Adi Yogi, they say this man came and he sat down and he just started to meditate. And people started to gather. And people started to gather, and they gathered and they gathered, and more people gathered, and all he did was sit. And everybody sat there with him. And then after about 4 hours, people started to leave. And after that, it turned into 12 hours and more people left. People kept moving away from the environment. And as they would move away, more and more people would move away. And he finally just sat there. He sat there finally. It was almost a month he sat there without moving. And there were 6 left. And those 6 is what came up with all of the Indian history and stories that they talk about. Here's the question. Is your presence strong enough for people to sit and wait? You all proved that today at least for a half an hour, right? But how much of your message, how much of your mission has to be you? What Vach just said is that this is all you. My answers mean nothing if there's nobody here to ask the question. Too many leaders think they're leading, but they're out for a walk because there's nobody behind them. Every one of you is the leader that makes all of this possible. So I'm extraordinarily proud of each and every one of you. Thank you, Vosh. So I guess trade with Erica, is that, okay. And John Rivera?
Trade, Erica didn't get to speak yet.
Let's go, Erica.
Hi. Grand Rising, everybody. I love every single one of you so much. Sean, thank you for creating this community for us. Rhonda, thank you for being such a superstar. It was really just amazing to watch everyone connect while we were waiting for you, you know, and like you said, there was no fear, there was no worry, you know, we were making some jokes, we were all cracking up, you know, and it was just such an amazing feeling. I have so much energy through me right now. I don't know if you guys can feel me, but it's just like, oh, I just love this energy from you guys. So thank you so much for creating this community. You know, and someone had said that, you know, hey guys, you know, Sean might not be here right now, but he's in every single one of us. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but that really, you know, gave me chills instantly. And I was absolutely right. You know, even though you were, whatever happened, you know, you were still there with us, right? And the show was going to go on regardless, in honor of you, right? And again, so thanks, Rhonda, for stepping in and being a superstar. You know, it just, we're all connected, you guys. It's so powerful that every single thing that we've been through in our lives has led us here to this community. Like, think about that. Everything we've been through, you guys, we all have different stories, right? Some things may have been the same that happened to us, but here we are at 34 years of age, or 19 or 20 or 44, or whatever you are, right? And it's just such an amazing place to be, where we can just spread love, right? And allow ourselves, you know, to just be ourselves, right? And once, you know, we allow ourselves to kind of let go, right? Like we've been saying, allow yourself to be that miracle, right? Because you never know what the next person that you're going to meet, that next hello, goodbye in the restaurant in, you know, Texas, that, you know, that phone call, you know, that person at the store, you never know how they could impact your life, right? And so once you start like vibrating on that frequency, you know, where you're aligning and you're positive and you're manifesting, and this is something that I had to do, was I had to stop questioning it. So once I realized the path that I'm on, right, I let go, which was hard for me to do. And I started realizing that every single thing that happens to me, every single person that I meet, right, every seemingly small thing, nothing is small. You know, all the synchronicities I see every day, you know, the universal confirmations back to back every day, you know, there's no coincidences, right? So whenever I meet someone, I think, you know, what is it that this person could give me, right? And what can I give them? Because we're here for a reason, right? Because we're so powerfully aligned. So it's just amazing to be in this space. You know, my body starts to wake myself up now, you know, before this call. You know, when I was working 7 days a week, a state employee and a bartender on the weekends, I couldn't even drag myself out of bed, you know, sometimes, you know, it was hard. And I broke down in January. I had a breakdown after years and years of working 7 days a week, going to college, raising 2 kids. And I couldn't do it. And I asked the universe, you know, there's no more days in the week. There's no more hours in the day. What can I do? And, you know, I was introduced to foreign exchange trading. Mornings with Nano really did it. And then he led me over here, you know, to Sean and Rhonda and Toya and Baj and Lewis, you know, all you guys. Oh, and Lewis, I want to get that link for your call. I definitely want to hop on that. You know, I just, you know, had to get that out. Thank you so much for letting me speak, you guys. I love this so much. It's definitely part of my morning routine now. I'm so glad that it's not only just, you know, weekdays, but weekends too. You know, so I'm sending you guys love and light. And thank you so much.
Love you, Erica.
Love you.
Love you.
John Rivera's got his hand up.
What's going on, guys? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
I hope all is well, and wherever you're at, you're in positive vibes because this is a great community. All right, I just wanted to answer the question you said. Can miracles stop? Was that the question?
Well, how long could a miracle last?
Yes. So how long can a miracle last? All right. So for me, I think until the message is basically relayed. I think it's as simple as that. Like once the miracle is there, it's presented to the person, and they receive it. I think as much as it helps them, then that's as long as it lasts.
You're absolutely right. And so
Mhm.
the challenge is sometimes people think that a miracle needs to be this parting of the sea. The miracle could be a simple hello. Like
Absolutely.
some of you have, many of you on this call, some of you may know it, many of you may not, but many of you on this call have probably.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Because you showed up and you were there for somebody.
Absolutely. Smile or just being present in the right time and having the right mindset. The best exercise for the heart is to help somebody, to lift somebody up.
Yeah, it doesn't take forever to tell somebody you love them, to make somebody feel loved. It doesn't
Right.
take forever to be somebody that maybe, quite maybe, possibly driving your car, you kept somebody from passing you because it kept them from running through a red light and hurting somebody at an intersection. You just never know. So imagine if every step that you take, you show up as the reason miracles become possible for people.
Right.
Excellent. Appreciate
Well
you being
said.
here, John. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. No, well said. Thank you so much, Sean.
You're welcome. Thanks, John. I appreciate you being here, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Outstanding. And now we get to go to the dance man of magic himself, Leo.
Good morning. How
Good
are you,
morning,
Sean?
Leo.
Good morning, Rhonda. By the way, I just want to say that to see you leading is your light. It's so amazing that I woke up before my alarm. I woke up at 6:45. What's even more amazing that I thought that I can handle meditating by laying down, and then I wake up and it's freaking 8 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my god. So I think me and Sean, we might be on the same wavelength, right? Just kind of like timing wise.
Y'all might have had the same weekend.
Well, the weekend with you beautiful ladies, my god, I had to go back into the tapes on Saturday. And what was that young lady's name?
Malik.
Yeah. My God, her energy made me cry. I literally watched the recording and I was crying. That whole
You need to see your dance on. You need to go to her Instagram and see some of her dance moves. She'll put on some music and just get to dancing. Oh, let me tell you now. I was like, oh, Leah needs to be here.
That freestyle, right? I love that. That freedom. She had that. She definitely had that soul that just likes to be unleashed. My mom likes to call it the wild child syndrome. So that wild child, and I think we're all a little bit wild child, especially being that we're the roots of Sean, and being that we're all connected in that way. Good morning, wild children. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to you both for leading this community, to continue to pour into us every single morning, because it shows, and that's the cup overflowing, as you say, Sean, and that's why we all as a community poured into each other, because you constantly pour into us and our cup is full. So thank you for that. And I just want to say that my life is altered and changed because in every moment that I am confronted, or challenged or excited or enjoy, both of you come to mind all the time. My girlfriend literally knows Rhonda by her robe, and she looks at the screen and she goes, "Is she on?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's her right there." And then I showed her your weight loss pictures, and she was like, her mouth, like her jaw fell to the floor. So yes, big ups to you, Rhonda, for all of that work. And you know, this weekend has been a very emotionally up and down for me. And the reason why is because I feel that you know, that I'm growing so much and so fast, and yet I'm not where I want to be. And I don't know if that's based off of expectation. I don't know if that's based off of what I create in my imagination, as well as in my desires. And I feel that I beat myself up if I'm not doing anything that's in the path of where I want to go. So, for example, you know, if there's a moment where, let's say, my other half, she wants to watch a movie, but in that moment I'm like, I would definitely love to study. That ability to speak that truth, or even say that to her without her feeling that I don't want to spend time with her, or I don't want to invest myself with her, I get into my mind about the addiction to approval. What is it that I am doing? What is it that I'm saying or thinking that has me in that space of being addicted to the approval of even the person next to me?
So Leo, there's a pillow behind you. No, not there. There's on a chair behind you by the wall.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to think about wanting that pillow. What do you have to, what can you be miserable knowing that the pillow is there and you want it?
I could if I never get up and go get it.
So, but here's the thing. What if you never go get it and the pillow sits there? What if it's okay for the pillow to be where you're at? Now, I don't know if your chair has wheels on it, but move your chair back an inch. Cool. Are you now closer to the pillow?
Almost, yes, I'm almost there.
You're almost closer, but here's the challenge. The fact that you left this moment and you moved away from us visually in the camera and got closer to your pillow, at what point will you ever be happy no matter where you're at? So you just lean back. Now you lean forward. Now you're closer to us. Is it okay?
Like a ton of bricks.
Is it okay for you to be happy no matter where you're at during the journey?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So sitting here wanting to trade, sitting here wanting to watch a movie, I would ask you, which one allows you to be, which one are you looking for the miracle for you, or is it okay for you to sit and be the miracle for someone? Ooh, snap.
Wow.
Damn it! I hate
you just made my eyes.
Questions.
You made my eyes clench to the point where now tears are coming out.
Yep.
That's crazy. Oh my God! Thank you for hitting me with that one.
Yeah. So picture this. Picture the miracle. Picture the pillow wants to get picked up. As it sees you move towards it, its hopes increase. You're the miracle for the pillow. The pillow that's sitting behind your back, could you imagine what it's saying to the pillow over there on the chair? I get to get squished. You're nothing. You're a loser over there on the chair. I'm just a vanilla looking pillow, but you have color, but they don't even use you. Can you imagine we're being mentored by two pillows right now?
Would have never thunk it.
No, that's the way my brain works. Welcome to the three-ring circus called Sean Murphy. So when you
I live with every day, y'all. This is what I live with.
No. This is what she bought a ticket to.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
I am.
So here's the thing, Leo. So as you sit there, you're wanting to be the miracle for others. I get it. That's a guy thing.
Yeah, it is. It's so is.
You sit there and wrap your arms around her and be the miracle for her.
Mm.
It's so aligned with this conversation last night. She had a girls' night, which we both agreed like this was time that we needed, for her to enjoy herself and for me to invest in what I'm doing, which is my study, my promoting for my classes, all this stuff. And when she got home, she was in a good mood, but I could tell ladies' night always ends up in great conversation. So one of her questions she asked me was, "Hey, are you happy?"
Oh.
I was like, I love ladies' night. I love ladies' night. I love ladies' night all day, every day. I love it. Yeah, so I was like, babe, I am the happiest when I'm with you, and then that led into so many great conversations. And but what I got is that she was checking in, and oftentimes we don't check in enough. And that what you just said, Sean, about you walking closer to being the miracle for someone else is checking in and asking these questions and asking, and being okay with the answers. Sometimes I think a lot of times we don't ask these questions because we may not be ready to hear the answer or even be prepared on how we're going to help other people with those answers. And
well, we hope here's a little bit. As an instructor that you are, how long have you been teaching dance?
Oh, wow. 16 years this year, 16 years.
So for 16 years, you've guided people to find their steps.
Yes, sir.
No matter the music they play, there's always marks for them to hit. And part of this past 16 years and the 16 years prior to that, learning dance versus teaching it, you made a transition. So now the challenge is how many partners can you dance with on the dance floor?
Sean, I've danced with 4 ladies at one time.
And how many of them, did they all feel that you were there 100%, or they got you whenever you rotated towards them or you rotated away from them, they saw your butt?
No, let me tell you, this was in Japan. I thought that was real cool because, all right, so in Asia, I love traveling to Asia. They love New York dancers so much. So they actually literally will create a line to dance with you. I've never experienced this in my life. And I thought I was real cool and real smart. And I was like, I'm going to dance with multiple ladies at one time to kind of lessen the line. As soon as I did that, each of them looked at me like, okay, great. My turn to dance with you. Like my personal time to dance with you. And I'm like, it's awesome,
So
you're blowing Lewis's mind right now. Like Lewis's mind is completely blown at the moment because you said ladies in plural. Like he doesn't know what to do with himself right now.
I learned it actually from my mom. My mom taught me how to dance with multiple ladies at one time because at one point I was the only lead at these parties my mom would go to, and she actually literally taught me how to dance with multiple women at one time. So you can all message my mom and say thank you to her for that. But I don't know if that will.
No, but so here's the point. You've been helping people find their own dance.
Yeah.
And watching them to see how you can help them get better. What happens when they hit their marks? What happens when they elevate themselves? Have you had a dance client for 16 years? The same dance client for 16 years? Maybe you have.
No, but I've had a few for a few years, but not 16 years.
So for a few years, there's a part of you that wishes them well, wishes they'd stay, not even for the money, just for the environment, just for the joy. So now the question is when the movie comes on, that's the dance music for your partner.
Mm.
When the moment comes on, can you just sit here and can we look out the window? Can we eat breakfast together? Imagine if any moment that you were with her, you showed up and you danced to her music, not yours.
Mm. Mm.
And now all of a sudden, every time that you're together, it's this beautiful dance versus putting on your leggings, putting on your shoes, and getting ready to dance. Just dance.
That was beautiful, Sean. Definitely reflecting and resonating with that. What's coming up for me is how do you do it? How do you have these beautiful conversations with us, have your beautiful family, have 33,000 people that are under your leadership, and I'm sure multiple other things going on. I guess the question is, it's not about balance, but how do you stay in the rhythm of all of that and allow things to still expand and grow?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do this week as a husband? On a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do this week as a father? I just check in. I get their understanding I get my rating from them, not from me. Because yesterday, up until about 9 o'clock, I had a 0 as a husband this past week. Now, I might have been a 9, I might have been an 8 or 9 all the way up until yesterday afternoon. But I knew I got a 0. So what did we do? We spent 45 minutes and we walked home. Wasn't even 45 minutes, about 40 minutes, and we walked home from a friend's house. That got me back to above average, the walk. So you always got to be checking in. You always got to be adjusting. Listen, you may think you got an S on your chest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it stands for shit.
Man, you ain't lying, Sean.
So we got to check in. We got to have the courage enough to check in.
That is a
Sean,
great exact.
on our call last night with Angel. So we're blessed to have Angel in our life. And this woman is, what did you say, Sean? She's like in the top 10% in earners in all of network marketing.
Probably 3.
Yeah. So she's a big player, if you want to say it like that. And she was guiding us on similar questions that you have, Leo. And she said 2 things, and I wrote it down. She said, set your daily intentions and set your daily commitment. And every day she gets up and she checks her daily intentions. And for her daily intentions, one of them was to make 10 new friends on Facebook or social media. That's just an example, so you'll understand what I mean by intentions. And then daily commitment. So she singled me out and she was like, Rhonda, that daughter of yours, if you tell her you're going to go and sit down and for 15 minutes, because she teaches us to do this in 15-minute increments. She said, if you sit down and you say, I'm going to go work for 15 minutes, I'm going to go make some calls, I'm going to go talk to some people. She said, set a timer. And if you're in the middle of writing something out and the timer goes off, stop writing, turn off the timer, and go be with your daughter. She said, because an intention is like a contract. And you said with your daughter, or your commitment rather, your commitment's a contract. She said, you said with your daughter, I'll be there in 15 minutes. She said, if you'll break that, you'll break any contract. I know, Leo, I know, it did me the same way. I'm like, and she goes, don't you dare continue. If you go a few seconds past that commitment, past that alarm, you won't hold to any commitment.
Wow.
Yeah. This is also why she's probably in the top 3% income earners in all of network marketing.
It makes sense.
So I wrote that down. I'm like, okay, I've got to do really well at setting my intentions and my commitment and setting a time frame for each and clearly communicating to my husband and to my daughter, each one, so they know where my time is. And then when I get done, Sean's doing really, he's helped me so much because he's mentoring me through as I get busy with this growth that's coming in, how to spend my time when I do have the alarm go off. He's like, you're not to be scrubbing toilets and washing dishes. You need to be sitting with your family and having quality time. Schedule those other things. So commitments and intentions. And when you do that and your significant other sees that, they know kind of how the ebb and flow is going to go. But
Right.
that hit me right between the eyes. And it's kind of what you're talking about, is the intentions and the commitments and checking in. And when you know it and you see what it is, man, it'll line your hind end out real fast as to what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be. And then you don't have that downtime of what am I doing? Or that feeling of I didn't get anything done. Because at the end of the day, as I implement what Angel is teaching me, at the end of the day, I will have accomplished my intentions and my commitments. How could I not go to sleep after that? How could I not be comfortable after that? How could I not be present watching a movie sitting beside my husband after that? So
it clears all the fluff. Wow, Rhonda, that was powerful. Someone said it, positivity boss. Yeah, I needed to hear that today too. I think, because even when you're there watching a movie, you're not there watching a movie. I can even speak to myself, as much as I'm like, stay present, stay present, stay present, be in the moment, be with her. My mind is racing to the 100 other things that I feel like I need to do, because as Sean says, that S on my chest. And now I know what that means. It means shit.
Well, and as you set your intentions, you can set your intentions for time with her.
Yeah, 100%.
It changed everything, and it's probably what Sean was talking about for this weekend when he said he was getting a 0 out of 10. He had to change his intentions and his commitment. And sometimes we want to show up to be the miracle in somebody else's life, when the miracle we need to be is showing up right beside us and we haven't turned to them. And they need to see that miracle. They need to feel the miracle. They need to feel the greatness that everybody else is getting. And that's why I said this morning, when Sean wasn't on the call yet, he might be snugged up to his wife sleeping for a little bit, and that's what he needed to be, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was a big takeaway. And if I have if I have leaders like Sean and Angel in my life and they say something like that, better bet I'm writing it down. I'm going to implement that, intentions and commitments. So
I have to just share a moment of gratitude with you, Rhonda, for even writing that down, because of the 147 people you impacted with that. You didn't keep it to yourself. You didn't hoard it, into that beautiful journal of yours. You actually shared it. So thank you so much for doing that, because it really impacted me, because that's what's been on my mind actually for the past week, or on my heart, excuse me. I'm tearing right now. That's been on my mind for the past week, and the more that you expand, as you said, as you're expanding, Sean is helping you with your leadership. I feel myself expanding, and that expansion is making me feel great and enjoy, and oftentimes feeling like I need to do more. I need to do the need, because I feel like I have a lot of people counting on me, more specifically my partner. And it's to bring in another note. She listens to me during my calls. She listens to me during my classes. And the other day I'm teaching my class, and towards the end, I'm like, all right, everybody, let each other know that you love them, and share some messages of joy and gratitude. And my girlfriend turns around, she goes, you got that from Sean, didn't you? And I'm like, I'm doing what my mentor does. I'm duplicating. And there's times where she's like, oh, I've heard Sean say that, and I see that you're saying that, or sharing that with your students. So a little piece of both of you come with me everywhere I go. And to be able to know that I can set intentions and set my commitments is more of those little pieces of you guys coming with me.
Nice.
Thank you so much. I really appreciated that.
You know how much I love you.
I love you too, Rhonda.
That's why God put you in New York and me in Texas. He knew I would just smother you to death, man.
Don't worry. When all this is over, we're going to definitely have that retreat. And as Sean says, the whole day is going to be spent just hugging and smiling and being and enjoy with each other. So I already put this out there in the universe. You're going to lead our yoga class, and I'm going to lead the dance class.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. You're leading the yoga, I'm leading the dance class. and perfect like that, you know. So
I
thank
love
you.
you.
So much.
Class
I
out
love
on the
you.
grill.
I can't wait, and I can't wait to meet Mason, by the way, and your bride, because I also saw the video with the water, and I shared that with my girlfriend too. And I was like, he's a mini Sean, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Yeah, the ham doesn't fall too far from the bigger ham.
Nope, does not. Thank you so much, you both. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Delia, you got your hand up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Outstanding.
Thank you for this beautiful meeting. My question has to do with setting down the statement of intention daily. And rather than ask you for yours, I would like to read mine because you told us on Saturday that if we're afraid to tell the amount, that means we don't believe on the amount. Right?
It's all relative. So go ahead.
Okay, so I looked at my intention this morning and I said, okay, I do expect this huge amount because I'm going to have so many people and I'm going to have a long life. I think I'm going to make it to 100.
Cool.
And with all my facilities working.
Yep.
So I wrote my intention. And then what I want to, of course, you're not going to tell me and tear me down because I know how loving you are. But you can at least tell me if I'm going in the right direction. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for all the blessings that surround us, my husband and I. People are home. Thank you for all the blessings that surround us. People are home, our life. Today, I am going to help 2 to 10 people with what they really want. Might be health, might be income, might be getting leaner, or might be to support a cause. I will receive dollars for the best render service I am providing in the sum of $150. Just for the sake of the example.
Yep. So one of the things that we do when we set goals is that somebody will tell us to, well, 2 to 10. That's a huge, if you were to do percentages on that, you'd be fired as a CEO because it'd be like, well, wait a minute, you don't know your business. Are you going to get 2? Are you going to get 3? So I would start with 2.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, you've got to be able to see that you can do it. Because here's the thing, Delia, every one of us, if you did 4, you'd go, see, I didn't do 10, but you doubled 2. So we have a way to trick ourselves into failing no matter what we succeed at.
Okay, got it.
So just say, listen, today I'm going to help 2 people. I'm going to get to know 2 people and I'm going to be rewarded. The money may not come from them, but the money is that I'll average $150 a day. Because with that, I can do this, this, and this. Now the key is, what would you do with the 150? You don't have to know it all by now, right now, but would there be a chance? Because maybe that you donate some to church, maybe you'd give some to charity, maybe you'd pay off some bills, maybe you'd get yourself some different things that you'd want. Do all of these things. So start with the minimum that you could do. Jim Rohn said, know your numbers. If I get 1 out of 10 and you get 3 out of 10, I'll beat you every time. I'll beat you. Why? Because I know my numbers. Meaning, I know I get 1 out of 10. I can talk to more people. You get 3 out of 10, you'll quit. You'll stop at that point. So just do 2. Say 2. And then when you do 2 for a couple of weeks, 2 a day, you can go, you know what? I'm really going to push it. I'm going to up it by 50%. 50%. I'm going to go for 3. Give yourself a chance to win. All too often, we set goals that cause us a chance to fail.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, Delia. Love you.
Love you too.
Karina, you got your hand up.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness. I am blessed by everyone today. I was like just making sure that I look presentable, but you know, I already being here is just a blessing, you know, and it's amazing how as I've been able to connect with you guys within the last few weeks, right? The last time that I spoke, I was very conflicted in myself. And what was the message that I received, right? Turn to God, right? Just surrender, listen to all the guidance I'm receiving, and use my discernment while being a servant. And since then, I have transitioned into fully investing into becoming a servant leader, right? So how can I best serve the people in my family, the people on my team? How can I best serve my family? How can I best serve, you know, myself, you know, the self-care that I need to give myself every day? How could I best serve God? You know, when I go outside and I, you know, enjoy being in his presence, you know, this is all what we're talking about. We're talking about them being a miracle to someone or someone else being a miracle to us. This is all divine timing. And that's why I'm able to have a smile on my face. Yes, I'm still healing. Yes, I'm still on my journey, but I'm happy every day because I'm blessed, because I'm chosen to be able to serve, you know? And that's why I'm like, I have to just take it day by day. This is the journey. And I realize that a lot of people on the team that I'm on right now are conflicted because they see that the spiritual side of success takes patience, but they see the momentum. They see that we're able to like, we're receiving so many gems. We're receiving so much value from all these people. So we got to let everyone know, and we have to go out and it's just like, allow yourself to sit with it. Be still. You know, that is what I'm receiving. And that is how I'm going to be able to build myself into being a quality person, by renewing my mind, by focusing on strengthening my relationship with the Lord, you know, by being able to allow myself to be so aligned with my purpose that no matter who comes and who leaves, I'm still operating in it. And as I'm talking, like this whole weekend, you know, everyone's just focusing on growth, and, you know, just we're hearing from Nano and we're hearing from our upline, you know, just focus on the growth, focus on the personal development, you know, because that is what is going to take us from where we're at to where we are meant to be, you know, to be able to serve others. So that was just my spiel. I just wanted to be able to express that, and I'm so grateful for you all.
Awesome. We love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy.
Of
You know,
course.
we talk about oxymorons. We talk about like Central Intelligence Agency, or different words that we, you know, jumbo shrimp and all of these popcorn, these little things that it's like they really don't mean what they mean, or we can play words on them. And leadership is one of those.
Right.
We want to serve as long as we can lead. The biggest challenge with servant leadership is that nobody knows you're leading in service. Too many people want to show, look at what I'm doing to serve. Yes. Make sure, go get the cameras. Look at me donate money to charity. True servant leadership. Nobody should know you're the leader.
Right.
And that's a big hang up in our profession. It's a big hang up in the world, but especially this profession.
Yes.
So if somebody's telling you they're a servant leader, or they're not a servant leader. I'm just saying, be aware of that, because it's like, look at me, I'm helping my team. No, you're hoarding press, and we should never read our own press.
Exactly.
So if we have to let somebody know we're a servant leader,
then they're probably not.
we ain't a servant.
Right. for sure. No, exactly. And this whole point, I believe, is to be able to put other people in the spotlight, right? To be able to operate from behind the scenes.
Which
and
is
that's something.
because everybody still wants to take the selfie.
Right.
Look over here. Look how I'm helping.
Yes. They just want to show it. Yeah.
It's critical that we move from in front of the camera to behind the camera.
Yeah.
And we take the best picture possible of those around us.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up.
No problem. I love you.
Love you too. Outstanding. So we're going to go to Serbia and listen to a question from Serbia. Good morning, Alex.
What is good, people? What's good?
Outstanding, brother.
I'm just so grateful for all y'all. I've been thinking about the past weekend, right? And a kind of a question emerged. This is what I'm thinking about for the last couple of weeks, actually. It's kind of similar to Leo's, but with some additional ups and downs. So I wanted to ask, like, additionally, so the thing I always talk about, and you know this, we talked about that. The first thing you ever told me, the first conversation we had back when I joined the first day, right? You said, "Wow, this guy's got it figured out. He's just a little kid across the pond. He's got it all figured out." Well, shit, I don't. But the thing is, for the past couple of days and weeks, with all this value, with you, sir, with everyone else, it's just been a mind-blowing experience with you and the pink robe lady, my Texas mama, big smooch for her, and everyone else. So I kind of still struggle with something, which is the S on the chest, and like my brain is literally going 300 miles per hour every day.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that I still kind of believe that I haven't like got even the 10% of the whole road. I'm like 18 to me 19. I got a long like life ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I always have this sense of urgency because I think that most people just act like they're gonna live for 1,000 years, and this is something I heard from Les Brown, and it kind of validated this my sense of urgency. But the question is that, and this is obviously not me doubting, because I absolutely and fundamentally believe somewhere, somehow, some way, I'll get what I want. I fundamentally believe in that.
Yep.
But it's just I don't know how to.
So here's the question then. So here's the question. When do you have it?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. But when for me, unfortunately maybe, but for me it's all about the big things. It's all about the like walking into a penthouse, walking into
it doesn't
all
matter
stuff like that.
It doesn't
For
matter.
me, I mean, it's just
It doesn't matter what you want. Whether it's riches or things or people or love or joy. The question is when do you have it?
when I do the personal development, the personal undevelopment, and just some point in the journey,
So it's
I'll
always
have it.
there. It's always
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
So welcome to the rabbit chase. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that when you can realize that you already have it right now, the second you realize that you have it now and you can live in it as if you have it now, that's when the universe will start to align in coordinates to your desires.
Yeah.
You've been told that you're 18 and going on 19 or 91, it matters not. We all get told that you don't have enough experience in this particular thing to get it. The key is to know that you have it now. The joy that you have, the love that you have, the frustration that you have, the anger that you have, the creativity, the laughter that you have, you can't have anything other than now. You can't laugh in the future. You can only laugh now. You can't cry in the future. You only cry now. You can't be happy in the future. You can only be happy now. You can't be mad in the future. You're only mad now. And so all of these things that you want that are on a dream board or on a bulletin board or on some kind of list somewhere, they all have to happen now. And the challenge is that we go one day. Bob Proctor says, honor before June 17th, honor before December 31st. We never say, we go, I'm going to have that then. You're going to have it now. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made that permeates and penetrates and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought held in that substance produces the thing held by the thought.
Yeah.
You want all of this. And so you say to yourself, you ask the question, that part of you that says you're not good enough, ask the question, how am I going to have this? So one day I will have this. Okay. What day do you think that might be? Because I promise you, it'll move unless it comes to now.
Yep.
Now you have it.
The thing with that was I can see it, and you told me to meditate and practice repetition of thought because it's gonna stay permanent. So I see it vividly. I vividly see it every day.
But I can see a beautiful girl and never ask her out.
Yep.
I can see a beautiful car and never want to go. When I get the feeling that it's absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt. See, we're all too worried about the how, and we don't awaken our why.
Yeah.
You know, Alex, when you, I'm sorry if y'all hear my coffee pot. I'm getting a cup of coffee. When you started thinking, I'm tired of my, as you say it, sleazy Wall Street sales techniques.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of the past. Yeah.
But when you said you were tired of that and you wanted more, what showed up? You found these calls.
Yeah.
Now, everything that Sean has awoken in you has always been in you. So when Sean goes, how did you ask it, Sean? He said, I want these things. And you said, where are they? Is that what you said, Sean? How did you say that?
When would you have it?
When would you have it?
Yeah, when would you have it?
So wouldn't we, if we look at the examples right now and how that's folded and transpired, wouldn't you have it now? You just need to be awoken to it. And as you wake up to it, wouldn't it come to you? Because as you woke up to the thought of, I'm so tired of being a greaseball salesperson, what came running to you?
Sean's wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as he started visiting with you and talking to you, everything that he woke was inside of you, right?
Yeah, he kind of wakes up the a little genius up in here, just
So
like in
then-
everyone else. Yeah.
So then everything that you're looking for is right there as soon as you wake up to it.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's the whole reason Sean's morning phone calls used to be called "Get Out of Your Effing Way," and F could be anything, could be any
Could be
F
anything.
word.
Yeah.
So then, when you ask that question, maybe the other question would be, what part of me needs to awake to see what I've already wanted?
It kind of goes for me because this is the only thing I want. Literally, I'm prepared to throw everything else away. And we talked about this on the one-on-one call, I think a week ago. Literally, I'm just storming and having this urgency that everything has to be done by the minute. I need to have this by this. I need to do this before this. I need to do that before that. And it just makes me like work insane hours every day, and I'm doing that, and I'm getting all this value, and I just don't know how to accept it all, and can I even understand it all? I'm just young, so kind of a question is, am I just young enough to realize some stuff? I mean, you just got more XP than I do, and that just facts.
Well, when you ask the questions that you're asking the way you're asking them right now, it's kind of what Sean said earlier. You're setting yourself up to not even receive the answers. Yeah, you're young, but for whatever reason, you're ready to have this, or it wouldn't have come to you. So what is it that's causing you to stand right there in the way and not let this awakening happen for you?
Well, just some of my thoughts that, some things I just cannot look with the same eyes you guys can. I mean, it's just normal, and that's why I think
Right.
it's
But
it's like,
you're limiting yourself, and Sean, jump in anywhere because you hear where I'm at. You're limiting yourself on that because if your eyes are so young and you couldn't see it, it would have never come to you. So you're worthy of it. So reverse engineer why this thought trips you up.
yeah,
Do you understand what I mean by that?
yep. Like,
Reverse engineer.
Alex, you're how old?
19 May 23rd.
Okay, so you're 19.
Soon to be,
So
28.
if I look at you and try to compare your life to mine, would that be a fair comparison? At 19.
Up until the point we were the same age, well, from one point you can say you're you and I'm me, right? But everyone has their own
So if I go back to
chances
when
and
I was
everything.
19, I graduated high school. I spent the next 2 years, almost 2 years, sleeping in my office in Florida on a cot with a towel as a blanket for 6 months because I didn't know I could go buy a blanket at Walmart.
Yeah.
Does that sound like I'm being successful at the time?
No, I mean.
But I was running $1 million business.
Yeah.
Did I know I was running $1 million business? Not so much. I was just doing it every day. We were in an industry we had never been in before, doing something we had never been before, in a place we'd never done business before.
Yeah.
We had business in Ohio. We never had business in Florida. We walked into the phosphate industry. I didn't know how to spell phosphate. I didn't know what phosphate was.
Yeah.
So I say all of this to say, all I could do is wake up every morning and do all I could do in that day, in that moment, minute by minute. I didn't worry about tomorrow. We would have people quit, welders quit, and people show up and people want jobs because we were actually employing people, and people would come to work and people would leave and people would steal stuff. You got to keep moving. You got to stay in the moment. And in that moment, you let the things come in, just like Leo. I want to be the miracle, but I also want to trade. Well, you got to be the miracle for you right now.
Yeah.
And this distraction is the attraction to the distraction. And it's keeping you from being present. You have to check in almost, you got to take a second every minute and just go, where am I? Okay, I'm here. And move. I'm here and move. I'm here and move. And you just got to stay present. You got to ask yourself, what was my feeling? So you can have the feeling of anxiousness and anxiety. Many of us do. That's not the feeling of the goal showing up. What's the feeling of the goal showing up? Listen, you've heard everybody say, if I got an hour to cut down the tree, I'll spend the first 20 minutes sharpening the saw.
Max. Yeah.
So you might be, but it's quite possible you might be grinding the axe against the stone flat-headed, and you're not even putting an edge on the blade. But there's sparks of flying, baby. So breathe. Understand that your passion and desire is absolutely powerful. And now see if you can get it to focus. See if you can turn it into the laser. Because there's only a handful of things you need to do. Not 1,000, a handful.
Yeah.
And when you get good at the one that you get good at, don't try to get good at the things you're not good at.
I listened to that just this morning. Yeah.
Somebody sent me a thing, and look, I didn't even spell weekday right. I just put we day.
We day. Yeah. I listened to that this morning. I actually incorporated listening to Hungry by Les Brown every morning while I have breakfast and all that stuff.
Yep.
And he says, Les goes, do the things that you are talented for and just develop those things. If it's one thing, it's a one thing. If it's two, it's two. But just do those things, because most people major in minor things. And once you told me that I could be good at public speaking, I was immediately up writing some of my speeches that I created in my own mind, or
Right.
whatever. And everything else, every time that someone told me I'm good at something, which did not happen a lot of times, by the way, but you were one of the ways, one of the times actually. So yeah, thank you for that. And I get it. So do what you can. It's about smart work, not just work. It's about smart work.
Yep.
And
So, you know, Alex, Sean was talking about sharpening the saw, sharpening the axe. If you think about sharpening the axe, there is just a slight angle change to get the axe to sit on that sharpening blade at the right angle to get a sharper cut on that blade to make it slice easier. So it's not huge adjustments. It's small adjustments, just a little bit of an angle change, and you get this ability to get super sharp. So you were kind of looking at it before as this huge monumental change that has to happen. And
yeah, it's
Sean,
kind of a little change actually.
it's just a little change. It's a little change. That's what, before Sean ever got on the call this morning, that's what I told y'all. Sean has taught me to do well the few things that I know to do. I don't have to do all the things well. Just get really good
Just
at
those
one or
things,
two
yeah.
things. And when I do, as I've gotten better and better at just focusing on those one or two things that I know I do well, the change that occurs mentally is amazing, emotionally, physically, and then in this business, it changes, drastic changes. Because if you think about when you change the angle of that blade ever so slightly and you get that super sharp, now how fast can you cut down that tree?
Oh boy. Oh, Texas Mama, you know I love you to the moon and back, right?
You just wait till you get your butt over here to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just soak
It's
you up. But
Sean, what was it? It's the 1/2 of the 1/2% of progress daily, right?
1/10 of 1% is the
1/10 of 1%, sir. Yeah.
Japanese principle of Kaizen. 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah. And this kind of reminded me of the speech that William H. McRaven had. McRaven, sorry, had. He's the former U.S. Navy admiral, and he goes, "Yep," and he goes, if you cannot do little things right, you're never going to be able to do the big things right. And I gotta just start from the end, I guess, and just like reverse engineer up to the small things, and just major in major things, not minor things, I guess. You know I love you. Thank you so much, as always.
So I have a hard stop at right about 8:30. So Roz will probably be the last one today. Sorry, everybody. Yay, we come back tomorrow. Roz, good morning.
Good morning, Sean. I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn my camera on. It will not work. But I just want to say thank you to Rhonda, because what you said this morning, and thank you too, Sean, for everything that you do, because, I mean, you're amazing. There's so many things that I've learned, I've taken away from all these calls. And sometimes in the morning, I'm really busy when these calls are on. So it takes away from my attention, and I really can't, get on and talk. But I am just amazed by this community, and I just love you guys so much. But Rhonda, what you said about your intentions, because I find that I am a huge procrastinator. My partner says it all the time. If you just do it, it'll get done. So I find that and I've asked for your advice on a couple of things as far as the business. And I really, before all of this, having to be on quarantine, my focus was basically to get closer to God and start to, get to know me. Kind of what I think someone said this morning, I don't know if it was Vach, that said this morning about, getting to know yourself. Like you can't help anybody else until you know yourself. So I take all that away. But what you said this morning, Rhonda, was about intention, being intentional. I need help with that procrastination. Like I haven't started journaling. there's so many things that I need to do that I haven't done. And I know it's just like, just do it. I just need to make time. But Sean, if you could please just kind of speak to that.
So Roz, tell me who's important in your life.
My family is most important.
So let's give me a name of one of them. Not that they're any more important than the other, but give me a name of one of them.
Sure, my spouse. Her name is Patty.
Patty. So Patty, you have Patty, and would you do just about anything for Patty that you could?
Most definitely.
So do you think Patty wants the best for you?
Yes.
3 quick questions. Do I have your permission to help?
Yes.
Permission to make you feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
Permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
You sure do.
So why are you giving Patty less than the perfect she deserves?
I can't answer that, Sean, because my intentions, again, are good.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they say about your intentions.
Right. But here's my question. Just answer the question. And I love you. Listen, I'm not trying to be a jerk. But doesn't Patty deserve better?
Yes.
So don't do it for you. Do it for her. Don't do the journaling for her. Do for you. Do it for her. You're doing all of this for somebody else anyways, because if you were doing it for you, you wouldn't even have these questions. So let's start off with keeping it in mind, because part of the training that most people do is they say you need to take care of you. You got to have your why in place. Your why is in place. It's not you. Until we develop more self-confidence in you and self-love in you, for you to be able to take care of you with knowing full well that you will absolutely be able to enjoy life when you smile on your own. Let's do it for them. So if you were to journal today, what would you journal today? What's the task you'd want to do today that you're procrastinating on? What's a task today that you'd like, I've been putting that off for too long? What is a simple task today that you have on your calendar?
Calling some people in my contacts.
Awesome. So if you called them, who are you calling them for?
For us, basically.
No, you're calling them for you. You want me to, so you're in a network marketing business, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what would be a huge number for you? Today's Monday. What would be a huge number for you to sponsor this week, to enroll into your business? What would be like a ridiculous number for you?
For me,
okay.
10.
10. How about if I could guarantee you, I'll give you a training in 90 seconds that I could guarantee you could sponsor 20.
I would love it.
Would you pay attention to it?
Yes.
And at the end of it, would you give me a truthful answer?
Yes.
Where do you live?
I live in Georgia.
Georgia. So you ever been to downtown Hotlanta?
Yes.
Okay. Can you think of a tall building downtown Hotlanta?
No, because I'm only going for a convention.
Okay.
I really don't.
Think of a tall building. What's the tallest building you can think of that you can see the visual of?
I can see the visual of
Empire State Building, Eiffel Tower.
Yep. Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower. So somebody just look at your watch, and I'm going to do, in under 90 seconds, I will guarantee you my paycheck versus your paycheck. You'll have 20 people sponsored by Friday. Ready?
Yes. Today
is Monday. I'm going to go meet Patty. It's Patty, right? P-A-D-D or T-T?
T-T.
P-A-T-T-Y. I'm going to pick up Patty, and Patty and I are going to get on a jet. I'm going to hire a private jet, and her and I are going to fly to the Eiffel Tower. And when it comes Friday midnight, if you don't have 20 people sponsored, God forbid, I'm going to push Patty off the top of the Eiffel Tower. Would it take you more than today to get this done?
No.
Then what's the challenge? You're not doing this for them. You're trying to do this for you, but you want to do it for them. And this is where the confusion and the delusion steps in. Remember question number 2, could I make you feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah, so now can I take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
Please.
Okay. Patty's safe. You're safe. The question is can you be a little uncomfortable enough to take care of her the way you made your promise?
Yes.
Are you really going to procrastinate at any time anymore?
No.
And listen, I did that in under 90 seconds. Showed you how you could sponsor. Because if that was the case, you'd sponsor 20, wouldn't you? You'd have that
Yes.
day and spend the
Quickly.
rest of the week kicking my ass. As much as you love me, you go, you ever do that again to somebody I love, I will beat you. Right?
Yes.
You see how instantly we can change things when we want to change things? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer said that. So this procrastination is about you getting better. You want it for them. You will do anything for them, but you aren't sure you're okay. You can get better. So hear my words. You can get better. It's okay to get better. It's okay for you to love you more. It's okay for you to shine a little bit brighter. It's okay for you to achieve the success and the recognition, because you want it all, but you don't want any of the recognition. I just want to help. I just want to take care of people. I just want to make people feel better. Well, guess what? When you do that, you turn into Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa was one of the most wealthiest women on the planet. She didn't own a dang thing, but she owned people's hearts. Is it okay if you own more people's hearts?
Yes.
What changed in this conversation for you?
The way I look at things. Definitely the way I look at things. Just, I don't know, putting it off shouldn't be an option.
No, it's not, because every time you put it off, picture Patty and I getting one step closer to the edge. That'll fire you up.
Yes.
Sometimes the things we love most will not always be there. And that's where the tears come from. I should have. I could have. That's where the tears come from. I had a funeral on my 50th birthday for me. Because I listen, I ain't waiting for you to show up and throw flowers on my coffin. That sucks. That's bull crap. You're coming now to say nice things to me. If you're coming to my party, you're coming to say nice things to me. Say them to me now. Why are we waiting for people to die to say nice things about them? Why are we waiting for people to die to put memorials on the sides of hospitals for them? And the ones who do it while they're alive, we go, egotistical sons of Bee Gees, blah, blah, blah. No. Do it now. Be in the moment. Does that help?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Sean.
I appreciate you. Well,
Love you, Sean.
I love you too.
Love you, Roz.
Love you, Rhonda. Thank you.
RBP, thank you for doing what you do so well. I don't want to say step in, because that meant that there was a spot that you had to fill. You've always filled that spot. So thanks for just being you. You didn't step into anything. You were just you. And it seems like you did it extraordinarily well, which is another.
I don't know, I guess. We'll see.
So here's the great news, folks. We're going to do this again tomorrow morning. And I promise you at least one of us will be here. I'm not sure who, I'm not sure what, but all I can say is thank you for the love that you shared. Thank you for the honor and the respect that you paid to this community, because this is your community. I just happen to be the head misfit, and I'm so glad that I have all of you to fit in with. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits. I'll see y'all where? Y'all send some love to each other.
Love you, Sean. Love you.
Day, people.
Love you guys. I love you guys. Have an awesome day.
I love
Love you, family.
I love you guys. Have an amazing day.
Love you guys. Have an amazing day.
Love you.
Hey, everybody.
Have a great Monday.
Love you all.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Hasta mañana.
Aww.
Look at the baby.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.